Hello everyone, this is part 7 of What If Naruto Was Betrayed and Turns Evil, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Across from Naruto in the middle of the street. She had on a cocky smirk, thinking that she could fight this kid easily. Hey kid, I even bet that if I bet you with one finger, then you'll become my personal slave forever. She yelled out to him. I do not care, stop making bets and let's finish this. Said Naruto, his arms crossed in a bored fashion. Try not to die, Tsunade. Said Jiraiya on the sidelines, standing next to Mito and Menma. Please, this kid couldn't beat me in a million years. You can have the first move, she said and put out her index finger, ready to block anything that Naruto has to throw at her. Fine, if you want, said Naruto. He ran up to Tsunade, his chakra arms appearing from his shoulders. Tsunade was ready to flick Naruto in his forehead, sending him back, but was surprised when said boy disappeared. What? Where did he go? Asked Tsunade, looking around. She didn't see Naruto hovering over her head, looking down at her in disgust. So this is a Sannin, said Naruto, catching Tsunade's attention. She looked up to see him flying, making her quite surprised. I thought you would be able to find a small genin, but it appears I was wrong, he said. Quicker than she could see or react to, Naruto sent his arms down on Tsunade, smashing her in the ground. He dropped down right on top of Tsunade, hitting her ribs, making her gasp in pain. You aren't as cocky now, are you? Said Naruto as he looked down at her. She jumped away from him and got a serious look on her face. All right kid, my turn, she said and ran up to him. She went in to flick his forehead, but he used one of his arms to grab hers. Too predictable, he said and punched her right in the stomach. He flew back and fell in the street, making her assistant cry out to her in worry. Tsunade-sama, are you all right? Asked Shizune. Do not interfere, Shizune, she yelled at her as she got up from the ground. I shall handle him myself, she said. Tsunade started to look around again, seeing as Naruto disappeared again. She even checked the sky above her, but he wasn't there either. Where are you kid? Show yourself, she yelled out. Naruto then appeared in front of her. You wanted me? He asked. Tsunade instantly went in for a punch, but Naruto dodged it by using his flight abilities and circled around her. Tsunade went for a fury of punches and kicks, but Naruto dodged them all. You said that it would take a million years for me to bet you, but you can't even hit me. This is what it takes to be a Sannin. Pathetic, taunted Naruto as he kept dodging her attacks. Be quiet. You are just running away from me like a little girl, shouted Tsunade. Oh, like how you ran away from Konoha. 'Cause you couldn't handle living in the same place your loved ones died for. Mocked Naruto, making her even angrier. Shut up, she yelled and tried to punch him extra hard. Naruto flew around her back and kicked her, making her fall to the ground. Her fist made a massive hole in the ground, dust flying everywhere. She got up from the crater she made and looked around again, the dust cloud limiting her vision. You are pathetic. I told you once and I'll tell you again. You run away from your past because you feel guilty. You couldn't save them because you were, and still are, pathetic, said Naruto from within the dust cloud. Shut up, I told you, she yelled out to Naruto. You don't know what I've been through, she said. What you have been through is the average life of a ninja. Normal, no-name ninjas go through what you have, but they don't blame themselves or the village they came from. They realize that this is what happens in a ninja's life, and keep going on. You, on the other hand, can't take the emotional loss of people you know dying. If that's the case, you don't need to be a ninja, Naruto said, his voice projecting throughout the smoke cloud. Stop talking, whispered Tsunade as a tear went down her cheek. You don't understand. And I never will. I'm strong enough to protect the one I love. I'll never be you, said Naruto. Tsunade was looking down at the ground in a heavy mental battle. Was this kid right? Was she never cut out to be a ninja in the first place? She couldn't protect Dan, nor Nawaki, her sensei was dead, her mother, father, grandfather and grandmother dead. Everyone around her started to drop out her life, until she was by herself. She and Nawaki were orphans by the time she was 14, and she had to watch over him. Could this really have affected her life that bad? No, she said. I don't care what you say, I'm not the average shinobi. I am a Sannin, and I won't be bested by you. She yelled out in the dust cloud. A shame, said Naruto. Tsunade then found her arms bound by something. She looked behind her to see that Naruto jumped on her back. He used his legs to wrap himself around Tsunade's lower body, and used his chakra arms to wrap around her upper body. What are you doing? She yelled at him. Making you feel even more pathetic, said Naruto. He then made another set of chakra arms from his back and dragged the claws down Tsunade's arms. Ah, she yelled. Get off me. She screamed and started thrashing around, trying to get Naruto off of her. She didn't notice that some of the yokai got into her cuts, making them burn. Tsunade, in a panic, jumped up and fell on her back. Before Naruto could get hurt, he disappeared in a red flash, making Tsunade take all the damage. The dust cleared to reveal a trembling Tsunade in a hole and Naruto looking down at Tsunade. I win, he said and punched her in the middle of her stomach, making her go into unconsciousness. Tsunade-sama, yelled out Shizune as she jumped next to her master's body. She started to heal the gashes on her arm. Damn it, Naruto. You shouldn't have taken her that seriously. Jiraiya yelled out to him as he went next to Shizune. She should have taken me seriously. This is her own fault, said Naruto. He then walked away from the scene, going back to the hotel room. In Konoha, Kushina was walking to her husband's office. She and Minato have been on shaky terms ever since she learned the truth about the Uchiha massacre. She wanted to talk to Minato so they could build their relationship back to the way it was. Kushina was walking through the halls, but she then saw Minato turn a corner, making her follow him. Minato-kun. She tried to get his attention, but apparently he didn't hear her as he continued to walk. Kushina started to follow her husband throughout the building until he walked into a room and closed the door. Kushina walked to the closed door to see that it was slightly ajar. She peeked in through the crack to see that her husband was in a room with pictures of the past Hokages on the wall. She watched as he put his hand on the first Hokage's picture, and a secret door opened up on the other wall. He quickly entered it and closed the door. Kushina then entered the room. She followed what her husband did and the door on the other wall opened up. She quickly entered as the door closed itself. It was dark where she was, but she could hear the sound of hammers hitting nails. What was going on down there? Kushina looked forward to see a long hallway. The walls and floor were made concrete. She walked down the hallway to see that there was a lamp hanging from the ceiling, giving the place an ominous look to it. She turned a corner and saw a set of stairs. She went down the stairs and continued to walk again, only to find another set of stairs. These damn stairs, muttered Kushina as she kept walking down. She finally made it to another door. She opened it only a little to see what was inside. She saw a long room that was curved, making her believe that the structure of the place was in the shape of a dome. She went inside to find a window in the room. Why would there be a window here? She was underground. She peered inside, only to be shocked at what she found. Inside was a large dome-like room that had many ninjas on the side of the walls, and it looked like they were putting seals on the walls. In the middle of the room was a small platform that had a walkway that led to one door. The platform had chains that were linked to the ground. There were also 9 holes on the platform that looked like they latched onto something. Where there wasn't anywhere to walk, their spikes protruding from the ground. If anyone were to fall from the walkway, they would be impaled to death. Kushina walked around the hallway, looking throughout the windows as she passed by them. She was amazed at how many ninjas were working down here. It looked like a max security prison, but only for one person. But who? Kushina-chan, what are you doing here? Asked Minato as he appeared next to her, making her jump in shock. Minato-kun, she whispered and took a deep breath. How did you get down here? He asked with a serious look on his face, which surprised her even more. Minato was never like this. I tried to get your attention earlier but you didn't hear me. What is all this? She asked as she looked at the door that led to the inside of the dome. She tried to open the door but Minato grabbed her hand. I wouldn't open that if I were you, he said to her. Why? She said, a little ticked off. 'Cause you'll die of chakra exhaustion, he replied. Then how are those people in there alive and breathing? She said. Because they have a seal on them that blocks the effects of the chakra absorption seals in the cell. He said. That's what I want to ask you. Who is this for? She asked. Minato just gained a sad look and turned away from Kushina. Minato. What's going on? She asked again. It's for Naruto. He replied, not facing his wife. What? Why? She yelled out to him. Even though he says that he won't attack the village now, doesn't mean he will later. I had to come up with a backup plan. He said. So you came up with this without talking to me about it? Said an angry Kushina. I knew that if I told you, you would be against it. He said. Damn right I am. She yelled. We're supposed to get closer to our son, not make him hate us even more. What do you think this is going to accomplish? Saving my village. He yelled back. I can't have him saying that he's going to destroy us and have him walk among us like it's alright to send threats like that. That's why we build bonds with him. Not put up walls between us. You're going to lock him up again like you did years ago. She shouted. Like what we did years ago. He countered. You also helped me create that cell and now we have to do it again. This is for the good for my village. Forget about you damn village and think about your son for once. She yelled, making him go wide-eyed. When you thought more about your village than son, then what has happened Naruto now is a result. If we lock him up again, we could cut the deal we had with the Kyuubi. Do you want that to happen? She yelled. It won't happen. He replied. The seals in here have the power to block the Kyuubi for good. She won't have control over him and we can successfully block out his and her power with the seals implanted on the walls and chains. So you aren't going to try anymore. You're just going to give up on your son. You're going to keep him locked in here forever. She asked with tears in her eyes. If I have to I will. For my people. He whispered. What about me? She yelled. I don't need you right now, Kushina. Minato yelled at her. What? She whispered. I don't need Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze right now. What I need is a woman who understands the dire situation. I need a woman that will back me up with everything I do. I need a woman that will take her emotions and kill them for the good of her neighbors to get the job done. I don't need Kushina, I need the Red Death of Konohagakure. He yelled. The Red Death. She whispered. The woman who would take any assassination mission and get it done quickly and as quietly as she can. The women who took down the 7 swordsmen with ease. The women I love and she loves me back. That's what I need, he said to her. You know that my days as the Red Death are over, she said as she turned her head. Minato looked at her before putting his hands on her shoulders and pinning her to the wall. What are you doing, Minato-kun? She said. If you don't listen to everything else, listen to this. He whispered to her and looked her dead in the eye. Naruto wants to kill you. He wants to kill you, me, and the other children that we made. He wants to destroy the family that we have took our time to create. Mito and Menma, the children we share, are in danger of their own older brother. I know that Azumakians think that family is everything, and doing something to a family member is terrible, but what choice do we have? You were mad that I made the order to kill the Uchihas, but Naruto wants to kill everyone. Everyone you know, dead. Do you really want that? Asked Minato as he looked at Kushina's face. Tears started to come from his eyes as he looked at his wife. I know that I've been a bad Hokage, and an even worse father, but please listen that I'm doing this so I won't have to see the ones I love die by something I made. Please, Kushina-chan. Believe me, he said as he got down on his knees and put his head on her stomach. Kushina was beyond surprised. She has never seen Minato cry like this. Even when they got married. When their children was born. When he was assigned the title of Hokage. Never has he cried like this. Kushina looked through the window to the cage that his son was going to put in. What choice did she have? Try to get close to her son and fail, and have everyone die. Or have him put here and she enjoy life with all her loved ones. Her children. Her husband. All right, she said and put her hands on Minato's head, trying comfort her lover. He was right. He really was trying, but who things were going with Naruto, Konoha would be destroyed soon. This was the only option. I believe in you, Minato-kun. Just make sure that he doesn't spend all his time in here by himself. She said. She felt him nod his head up and down on her stomach. She knelt down with him and hugged him. She didn't realize that being the Hokage was this complicated. Tanzaki Town Sunit's hotel room. Tsunade was sitting in her bed thinking about the fight she had with the Kyuubi brat and what he said. He said that she wasn't good enough to be a ninja. Not being able to handle death was a prime factor in the life of a ninja. If she couldn't handle that, then why become one at all? Because she was a senju and she had an image to keep. She couldn't deal with that. Plus, she had the worse image now. A gambler that moves across the lands to avoid the people she owns. That didn't sound ninja-like. She then heard a knock on the door, making her come out of her thinking. Come in, Shizune, the door's open. She said, but it wasn't Shizune that came out that door. Ah, it has been a minute, has it, Tsunade? Said a very pale man. Orochimaru. Growled out Tsunade. Where is Shizune? She asked. I don't know who you speak of, I just came to talk to you. He said as he sat down on a chair in the room. Kabuto then entered the room, standing right behind his master. What is it that you want? Ask it then leave. I have nothing to talk to you about. She shouted. Ah, come on now, Tsunade. Don't you want to catch up with an old friend? He asked with a smirk on his face. No, he plainly denied. Why do you look injured? Who could you have fought that put that type of damage on you? Asked the snake man as he looked at the bandages on her arms. Don't worry about it. Now ask me what you came here for. Said the slug Sanin. Alt, I shall make this as quick as possible. Said the man as he took a deep breath. I need you to heal my arms, I had them injured during my attack on Konoha and they haven't been working properly. He said. Why should I help you? You are a traitor and I don't. If you do then I will bring back to people you love from the dead. Said Orochimaru, making her go wide-eyed. What? She whispered. I have a jutsu that can bring people from the dead. Said Orochimaru. All I need is for you to heal me and I will bring them back. How did you get hurt? She asked. While in Konoha, I meet a boy by the name of Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the eldest son of the Hokage and Kushina. He injured me easily. He sent his yokai into me and it messed up my chakra system. I can't use jutsu. However, if you are able to heal me, then I can bring 2 people back from the dead to you. He said. Tsunade widened her eyes when she heard that Naruto did that to Orochimaru. She knew for a fact that Orochimaru was stronger than her. How strong was Naruto? I need time to think. She said. Understood. But for the jutsu to work, you need 2 alive bodies for jutsu. You shall supply them, understood? He asked. Tsunade just looked away from him. He smiled, knowing that she was thinking about it. Tsunade-sama, said Shizune from the other side of the door. I'm here with your food. Orochimaru then went towards the window and opened it, making the curtains flutter from the wind that entered the room. We shall meet in 3 days, I shall see you then. He said as he and Kabuto jumped out the window. Shizune then opened the door, seeing Tsunade in the open window. Tsunade-sama, isn't it a little too cold for you to have your window open? She asked. Tsunade just looked at the moon as she answered Shizune back. Yes it is. With Naruto. Naruto had left the hotel room because of the snoring the old pervert was making. He wanted to get away from those other people that he had to share a room with. TCH, humans, who could understand them. Naruto jumped up in a tree and looked up at the moon. It was a habit that he started to do a while back. He never realized how beautiful it was, but he would never tell Kurama-chan that. She would probably destroy the moon, thinking that he was cheating on her for it. Tonight, though, the moon had a certain glow to it that really attracted him. He looked onto it, wonder in his eyes. His eyes subconsciously started to glow a deep crimson as he looked onto the glowing rock. Sochi-san, he heard in his mind, and that snapped him out of his hypnotism. What was that? I know I just heard that. He whispered to himself. The boy with the straitjacket on looked onto the moon with curiosity, before abandoning his position on the branch was on. Weird-ass moon. He whispered and left the area. 4 days later, Tsunade had healed herself and Jiraiya had to apologize for Naruto's actions. Jiraiya asked if Tsunade was going to keep her promise and return to Konoha, since she did lose the fight. She just looked at him and told him, I'm a runaway gambler, did you really think that I was going to keep some bet? Menma and Mito have been training in their clan jutsu. Menma has had some success with his chakra chains, while Mito has almost perfected her Hara Ishin. The 2 also trained in their Rasengan, trying to make it with only one hand, but failing in doing so. Naruto just watched his younger siblings train. He made his first one-handed Rasengan when he was 8, and these fools were having trouble with it and they are about to turn 13. That's right, it's almost October. Naruto whispered to himself. That would mean he too would be turning 13. Ah! Yelled Mito as the Rasengan in her hand exploded. He couldn't focus on keeping the Rasengan in the shape it is supposed to be. Why is this so hard? Yelled Menma as he too had his Rasengan exploded in his face. You're both idiots, said Naruto as he unwrapped himself from his tails. Watching these two fail hurt his eyes. Shizune then appeared in front of the group in a panicked look. Come quick, she yelled. What is it, Shizune-san? Asked Mito. Orochimaru, was all she said. They then heard a large blast a few miles from them. Earlier in town, Orochimaru, Kabuto, and Tsunade meet up on the outskirts of town. She was looking at the two with a blank face. So, have you thought about the deal that we have? Asked Kabuto. I shall heal you, but please, don't attack the leaf anymore. She asked him. I won't, you know that I don't like lying, said Orochimaru, lying through his teeth. Of course he was going to attack Konoha again. Hell, who wouldn't? Tsunade got close to Orochimaru, but instead of healing his arms, she grabbed his throat. Hey, should have known, he said as he looked down at Tsunade. You really don't keep your promises, do you? One promise I will keep is that I will kill you, she said with a glare. Present. Mito, Menma, Shizune, and Naruto appeared in a battlefield with 3 large animals. A slug, toad, and a snake. They saw Orochimaru battling Jiraiya while Tsunade went up against Kabuto. What should we do? Asked Menma to Shizune. Let's help Tsunade-sama. Getting in between Orochimaru and Jiraiya-sama is a death wish, she said. Mito and Menma nodded their heads, but Naruto looked on with a smirk. Then that's where I go. I have a score to settle with that old snake, said Naruto as he flew off towards the male Sanins. On top of Gamabunta. Been a while, hasn't it, Jiraiya? Said Orochimaru. It has, still being the same evil snake I see, replied Jiraiya. If you think my purpose for gaining my arms back is evil, then you are wrong. I wish to have immortality, that isn't so bad now, is it? Said Orochimaru. One day, Orochimaru, all the things you have done will catch up to you, said Jiraiya. Well, when it does, tell me ahead of time so I can. Orochimaru couldn't finish as he was caught by something and pushed off Gamabunta. Jiraiya just looked at Naruto fly away with Orochimaru. It's here, he joked. Naruto had Orochimaru in his hands. Hitokea dropped to the ground and started to punch Orochimaru repeatedly. Before they hit the ground, Naruto took a sharp turn and was barely hovering over the ground. He pushed Orochimaru on the ground and kept flying over him, making Orochimaru grind up against the ground, tearing it up. Naruto finally let Orochimaru go, and he continued to grind against the ground until he hit a tree. Nice to see you again, said Naruto. Orochimaru got out of the ground shakily and stood up. He was filled with cuts and gashes all over him. You, yelled out Orochimaru. You're here again. Yes, now you know you can't beat me or run, so what shall we do? Asked Naruto as he reached for his claws. Wait, yelled Orochimaru. He couldn't do anything now. Naruto's presence has changed everything. We do not need to fight. I can just leave now. I just need to ask you something, said Orochimaru. Which is? Asked Naruto. Your yokai affected my chakra system, mostly in my arms. I cannot perform jutsu anymore. How do I get rid of the yokai inside them? He pleaded. You can't remove it, you just deal with the pain. Don't worry, it will fade in some time, but now, you're at my mercy, said Naruto. No, you let me leave last time, why not now? Asked a very scared Orochimaru. I don't let my prey get away twice, said Naruto. With Mito, Kabuto had them in a corner. He had showed Tsunade some of his blood, making her unable to battle, because of her fear of blood. Menma had foolishly ran up to Kabuto and tried to take him down by himself. He got knocked around by the senior shinobi easily. Shizune was watching over their bodies while Mito prepared to fight. You won't win, you know that, don't you? Asked Kabuto. I can tell that you are smarter than your brother, but are you stronger? If not, you'll end up like him soon. No, I can defeat you. It seems that Tsunade-sama has put some type of damage on you, said Mito. True, but it was easily healed by my medical jutsu. Do you still wish to fight? Asked Kabuto. I know that you won't let us go so easily, so I have to step up and protect them, said Mito as she got into a taijutsu stance. Hey, your funeral, said Kabuto as he charged towards Mito. Mito was ready and blocked Kabuto's punch by catching his arm. She was aware of the chakra scalpels and the effect that came with them if hit by it. She had to stay clear of his hands. Kabuto went to kick her, but a gold chain came from her back and wrapped itself around Kabuto's ankle, lifting him in the air. She slammed him back down in the ground, but noticed a log was where he once was. You're good at using your chakra chains, said Kabuto behind Mito. He kicked at her back, making her fall to the ground in pain. But I have studied up on them to know how to counter them, he said. Mito cursed and rose up again. She couldn't give up now. She had to protect the others. Time to get serious, she said with a look in her eyes that promised Kabuto pain. He just smiled at the little red-haired girl, thinking that getting serious was going to do anything against him. Serious, eh? He questioned. Then please, show me how much you have improved since the Chunin exams, he said. With pleasure, she stated and ran up to him, 2 kunai in hand. She slashed at him with one of the kunai, but he easily dodged them. She threw the other on at him in a close distance. He caught the kunai, a smirk in his eyes. That's it. I thought that you woo. A yellow flash appeared at Kabuto's side and Mito appeared beside him, and stabbed him in his ribs with the other kunai in her hand. Gah! Yelled the sound Jonin and jumped back away from the red head. How's that? Asked Mito. Impressive, I must say, said Kabuto. He put his hand near his injury and started to heal his wound. Oh no you don't, said Mito as she ran up to him and threw another kunai at him. Kabuto jumped back and dodged the kunai, thinking that dodging would be the better option than engaging her again. Have this, Suten, drilling water spears, she yelled, and multiple drills of water appeared around her, ready to attack Kabuto. This again. I remember you used it against the Uchiha and still lost, he said, trying to get to Mito. Maybe, but this time will be different, I assure you, she said and sent some of the drills of water towards Kabuto. Kabuto jumped back from the attack, making sure to stay away from the dangerous spears. He was surprised when the water started to follow him. Guided missiles, he said and kept running away from the drills. Mito then rushed towards his front, the drills following from the back. Not the smartest move, said Kabuto as he got as close to Mito as he could, before jumping up, the water spears now targeting her. Please, she said, and she made the water spears follow Kabuto again. Kabuto had to substitute with another log in the area to get away from the drilling waters of death. I have an amazing ability to control water. Like you see now, I can switch the movement of my water to whatever form I want it to, she explained. The other water spears she didn't send to Kabuto were circling around her, protecting her from any harm. I see. You really have gotten stronger, he said. There's more to me than that, she said and rushed to a now fully healed Kabuto. She went in to punch Kabuto, one of the water drills circling around her arm, and went towards Kabuto, her arm becoming a spear. He quickly moved out the way, and went in to punch her, which made contact with her cheek. She ignored the pain and attacked the man again with a kick. He grabbed her arm and threw her in the air, not seeing the smile she had on her face. Go! She shouted, and the remaining water spears went straight to Kabuto with a deadly accuracy and speed. He hardly had time to move from the spears, only receiving a gash on his shoulder. Mito have her opponent no time to rest as she landed on the ground and went through more hand signs. Suten, water dragon bullet, she yelled and sent 2 dragons of water towards Kabuto. My god, how much chakra does this girl have? Thought and impressed Kabuto. He tried to jump from the ground, but felt something holding him down. He looked to his feet to see Mito's chains holding him down to the ground. He cursed and went through some hand signs. Suten, water dragon bullet, he yelled out and sent his own water dragons to face the other 2, making an explosion of water appear in the battlefield. You know that move as well, said a surprised Mito as she looked at Kabuto. It is a well-known move, he said. No matter, I have you now, she yelled and made a cage bunshin. Together, with the clone's help, made a perfect Rasengan. Time to die, she yelled and used the chains that was around Kabuto and pulled him in, surprising him. Damn it, I can't find anything to switch with, said Kabuto. He was already very low on chakra, and now a chakra monster comes and fights with him. Just his day. Mito put the Rasengan to Kabuto's stomach, causing the chakra to blast into him. Rasengan. She yelled out and blasted Kabuto back, him receiving the full effect of the jutsu. Gah! He yelled in pain as he blew back into the ground, not being able to get up. His foot was caught in between the broken ground. Mito huffed as she finished her move. She really did it. She beat Kabuto. Granted he was already low on chakra, but a win is still a win, especially when a Genin beats a Jonin level ninja. Mito quickly turned her head back to Shizune, Menma and Tsunade. She made sure to go see that they were all right. In the air, Naruto had Orochimaru in the air, flying higher and higher. They were fighting in the air, seeing as the snake did best on the ground, Naruto brought the man in the air. Naruto went to punch Orochimaru, but he moved his head and sent a snake up his sleeve to bit Naruto, but he made a chakra arm to grab the snake and crushed it with the force it had. Orochimaru kicked off of Naruto and was flying back to the ground. They really were high up in ground. How was he going to get back to the ground safely? Orochimaru opened up his mouth and a snake came out. The snake's mouth opened and a sword came stretching out to Naruto, trying to pierce him. Naruto saw the incoming attack and swiftly dodged it in the air. He flew down to Orochimaru and grabbed his shirt. The two started to fall down to the ground at high speeds, scaring Orochimaru. He wouldn't survive a drop like this. Naruto then threw him down to the ground, ready to kill the snake. Orochimaru was falling to the ground in fright. He couldn't do anything in the situation to save himself. He started to think of some way to get out of this situation, and to his surprise, he fell in a web of some sort. He took a deep breath in thankfulness as he recognized the technique he was currently in. Orochimaru-sama. He heard 4 people call his name. Saken, Akon, Tayuya, Jirobo, and Kidomaru came to his rescue and got him out his sticky web. Thank God you're here, said Orochimaru, surprising the group. Orochimaru never talked like this. Where is the enemy? Asked Jirobo. In the air, but you won't win. We need to get Kabuto and get out of here, now. He yelled out. Hi, Orochimaru-sama. They all said at once and Jirobo grabbed the Snake Man and ran up to Kabuto's area. We're not finished yet, Snake Man, yelled an insane voice. The Sound 4 looked up to Naruto to see that he was flying towards them at incredible speeds. Incoming, yelled Saken, and they all jumped away as Naruto crashed into the ground they once were in. A very large and deep crater appeared in front of the ninja, surprising them at his strength. Who is this? Asked Kidomaru. That flying thing looks pretty fun, the best game ever. Damn it, you 6-armed piece of shit, yelled Tayuya. We don't have time for your game shit, Kidomaru. We need to get our asses out of here, she yelled. They continued to run, but then someone jumped in front of the group. Where are you all going? Asked Jiraiya, making them all go into shock. Damn, it's the Toad Sage, yelled Saken. Yup, now hand over your leader and you all don't get hurt, said Jiraiya. The group got into a defensive stance around Orochimaru, ready to protect him to the death. Suddenly, there was a crash behind them. They looked back to see a crazed Naruto. I said we aren't finished, so stop running, he said as he flew up to them and landed behind them. Orochimaru cursed. Jiraiya to their front and their insanely powerful insane Jinchuriki to their back. Which one to choose? Push forward, yelled Orochimaru. They instantly jumped over Jiraiya and Kidomaru made a web down towards the two. Jiraiya, not ready for the attack, got caught up in the web. Naruto, on the other hand, cut his way through and kept following the group. He's still following us, yelled Jirobo. What are we going to do? Said Saken. He's a fox, damn it. What do foxes like? Animals. Anything. Just get rid of that crazy thing, said Orochimaru. Tayuya had an idea. Back in Oto, she would play music and would attracted animals when she played soft melodies. She got out her flute and started to play a melody. Tayuya, this isn't a game. Playing your flute will get you killed, yelled Kidomaru, but she stayed, playing her flute. If she wants to die then let her, said Saken as they made it to Kabuto's body and ran off. Naruto was closing in on Tayuya. He was ready to kill something. It's been a minute since he. Naruto stopped in mid-flight as he heard a tone that calmed him instantly. What was that? It sounded so good. Tayuya was looking up at Naruto in fright. Naruto must have not realized that he was right in front of Tayuya, his claw inches from her face. Naruto went on the ground and was hypnotized by the sound. It just sounded so good. Tayuya saw that her plan was working. The others had stopped to see what she was doing and was surprised that her plan actually worked. Tayuya started to back away from Naruto. He really was an animal, seeing as this tone was based off the birds she would hear in the morning. It always made her feel good. She made it to the others and kept playing louder, so Naruto could hear it from the distance they were. The sound for Orochimaru and the unconscious Kabuto ran off to the woods, successfully getting away from the monster named Naruto. Menma, Mito, Shizune, Jiraiya, and Tsunade looked on in shock. All it took was music to calm him down. Just some fucking music. Why the hell didn't we think of that? Yelled Mito, also waking Naruto from his trance. What was that? He said to himself. He walked over to the group, and he freed Jiraiya from the spider web with his tamed winds. The group made it to the hotel to rest up. In Konoha, Minato was sitting in his office reading some of his paperwork. He wondered when Jiraiya would come back. He has been gone for a good 3 weeks. He wanted to know how the search for Tsunade went. A puff of smoke appeared in his office, surprising him. When the smoke cleared, it revealed Frog. I have a message from Jiraiya for you, Minato-sama, said the frog. Minato nodded and received a scroll that had Jiraiya's handwriting on it. He opened it and started reading. Hey there, Gaki. The mission has been successful and we have Tsunade with us. She wasn't going to come with for a second, but Naruto beat her and Menma gave her a deep talk about why she should come back. Got to give it to you, Gaki, the kid has a way with words. Anyway, we are scheduled to be back in Konoha in at least 4 days, but be ready if we come sooner. Naruto is getting more and more suspicious every day. Make sure you have everything ready once we get back. I hope you go lucky with Kushina while we were gone. The kids were finally out the house for you to hit your wife's sexy ass. I see you in a few. Jiraiya. Minato just shook his head at his sensei's words. That man was truly perverted. He did have sex with Kushina yesterday. Damn, that woman had a fat ass. Days later, Jiraiya, Menma, Mito, Tsunade, Shizune, and Naruto finally made it to the village walls. They had been away for a long time and it was nice to see a sign of home. Finally, home sweet home, yelled Menma as they walked through the gate. I don't want to hear your yelling right now, Menma. It's getting late and I wish to go to bed, said Mito. It was getting late, as the sun was going down and the sunset was most beautiful. You all go home, me, Tsunade, and Shizune shall go to your father's office and talk about the mission, said Jiraiya to the children. All right, but first I'm going to get some ramen, said Menma. Naruto had his arms crossed as they entered the village. He didn't have any plans, so he would just go to slay. Naruto then started to sniff the air, catching everyone's attention. What is it, Naruto? Asked Mito. Goodbye, he said and walked away from the group, his tail swaying behind him. Weirdo, whispered Menma, making Mito hit him on the top of his head. Don't talk about our older brother like that, she scolded him. Yamanaka Flower Shop. Ino really was having a good day. She didn't have to do anything, since she had the day off, so she went to her father's flower shop to work. She really did like being around flowers. The aroma of the store was just so good as the flowers stood on the many shelves in the store. There were also many customers that came in today, so she wasn't bored in any way. Sakura said that she would come over soon as well. She hasn't talked to Sakura as much as she had during their academy days, but she understood that. They were ninja, they wouldn't see each other much. They were also still friends even though Sakura sent her to the hospital for a short time from the Chunin exams. Ino heard the door open and the bell on it ring. She looked up and gave her customer a smile. Hello, welcome to Yamanaka Flowers. How may I help you? She said proudly. When she didn't receive an answer, she opened her eyes to see that last person she expected or wanted to see. NNN Naruto, she said as she saw the demon boy approach her. You work here? He asked. Why yes, she replied shakily. I like the smell here, was all he said. The smell really attracted him, his fox instincts taking over him and commanded him to follow such a lovely smell. Naruto went beside the counter where Ino was sitting, and curled up in a ball, his tails covering up his body. Only a mass of red tails was all Ino could see. Naruto, she asked. No response. Did he just fall asleep in the shop? Ino asked no one. She just couldn't believe that he thought he could sleep here, of all places. Naruto, you can't sleep here. said Ino as he got from her stool and poked at his tails that covered him up. She started to get ticked off that Naruto was here, and finally went off. You can't sleep here, Naruto, she yelled out. Naruto unwrapped himself quickly and bared his fangs at Ino, scaring the shit out of her. He released some of his ki that really scared her even more. Be quiet, he said. The then laid back down on the floor and rewrapped himself. Ino was close to pissing on herself. That really was scary. More scary than the scary movies she would see with her friends at night, because she felt like she was in the movie only 10 times worse. Okay, you can stay here, she said to him, but got no reply. The door opened up again. Sakura came through the door. Hey, Ino. What's up, GI? Sush. Ino quickly shushed the loudmouth female. She didn't want Naruto to wake again, seeing as next time he might kill her next time. What's wrong? She asked and then noticed the red mass right beside the counter. Is that Naruto? Sakura asked, and getting a nod from Ino. Yes, I don't know why he is here. He just came here and asked if I worked here. When I said yes, he said, I like it here, and curled up and went to sleep. I just tried to wake him, but he woke up and told me to be quiet, so I'm leaving him alone, explained Ino. She then turned to Sakura with a worried glance. You're the Naruto expert here, tell me why is here? She asked. Probably because of the aroma of the flowers. He has a sensitive nose and the flowers probably made him come here, he explained. Okay, then how do we get him out? Said Ino. She really didn't want Naruto here, he scared the shit out of her. Not possible, said Sakura. Even though he acts mature, when it comes to his fox instincts, he acts like a child. When he finds something he likes, he stays with it, said Sakura. Well damn it, he can't stay here. I have to close up shop, said Ino. Sakura just ignored the blonde and went up to Naruto. She put her hands through the fur on his tails and gained a surprised look. These feel really good, said Sakura as she leaned on the tails. It felt like a small, soft heaven. Really? Asked Ino. She has wondered how the tails felt. She put her hands on the tails and ran through fur like how Sakura did. Wow, these really do feel good, she agreed. The two continued to rub through the fur, and then heard something inside of the dome of tails. Is that purring? Asked Sakura. Her and Ino put their ears to Naruto's tails and defiantly heard him purring. Or, isn't that cute? Naruto likes getting rubbed, said Ino with a smile on her face. Slowly, much to the two girls' surprise, the tails unraveled to show a sleeping Naruto with a smile on his face. He had his hands bent like who a young fox would when it was on his back. So cute, said Ino as she kept rubbing his tails. Naruto started to unconsciously move around while Ino was doing this, making Sakura looked at Ino with a smile. Didn't you just say that you wanted him to leave? Asked Sakura with a grin. That was like 3 hours ago. Stop living in that past and look at him. He's purring for God's sake. Who does that? Said Ino as she continued with her actions. Sakura joined the blonde and continued rubbing the boy, go so far to even rub under his chin stomach. The two were too caught up to in what they were doing they didn't notice an Anbu walk in. What are you doing? Asked a cat-masked Anbu. Ino and Sakura shot up at the sound of a voice behind them. Nothing, they both shouted, but then put their hands over their mouths, forgetting they couldn't talk loudly. Were you violating that boy? Asked the Anbu awkwardly. No, we were just, giving a friend a belly rub, said Sakura with a smile, hoping to get off the hook. Well, the Hokage has been looking for the boy for 2 hours now, said the Anbu. What? Why? Asked Sakura as she stepped in front of Naruto. She knew that whatever the Hokage had in plan for Naruto was no good. That is information that I cannot say. Can you keep him here? With whatever you were doing? Asked the Anbu. Yeah, sure, said Sakura. Alright then, I shall leave, just make sure that you don't get carried away with what you two were just doing, said Anbu. Sure, said Sakura. The Anbu left to go report to the Hokage the position of Naruto. 2 hours earlier, Minato had talked to Tsunade and Shizune about taking over the hospital, which they agreed to. Once they left, Minato and Jiraiya were alone. Are you ready? Asked Jiraiya in a serious tone. Minato understood what he was talking about. Yes, everything is prepared for him to be put in the Shi cell. He won't get out, we made sure about it, said Minato. Now, where was he last? He asked Jiraiya. Well, when we split up, Naruto started to sniff the air and just said goodbye, so I really don't know where he is, said Jiraiya as he scratched the back of his head. So you have no idea at all where his is? None at all, said Jiraiya. Minato just huffed as he put his hands on his forehead. Let's just hope he is close to the Hokage building. Present in a Konoha street. He had to be on the other side of Konoha, shouted Jiraiya. They had just found out about Naruto being inside the Yamanaka flower shop. Him and Minato were followed by 25 Anbu. This is your fault, said Minato. The large group finally made it to the shop and Minato looked through the glass door. Oh, you're so cute and your tails are so soft, said Ino as she rubbed Naruto's tails. They really were that soft. The two genin heard a knock on the door and saw the Hokage telling them to come outside. They abandoned rubbing Naruto's tails and walked out the door, making sure to put the bell on the door on the floor. Hokage-sama, what is going on? Asked Ino. I can't tell you right now, but it is dealing Naruto and we have to keep him sleep, said Minato. Why do we have to do that? I don't know what you're up to, but it has to be no good, said Sakura as she looked at Minato. Listen, I must get him asleep regardless. I am your Hokage and you will listen to me, he said to Sakura, making her turn her head away in defeat. Now, this is the plan. He turned to all the ninja present. Now, we have to get Naruto out of here and bring him to the Hokage building. We have to be silent at all times. If we wake him we could all end up dead, understood? Said Minato. Hi, Hokage-sama, they yelled. Shush, said Minato. Hi, Hokage-sama, they whispered. The group of people entered the store and saw Naruto sleeping on his back, a little droll coming from his mouth. Minato silently picked his son up. Ino-san, said Minato, getting her attention. I need you to bring your plant with the best us. Naruto can probably still tell the differences of his surroundings with his sensitive nose, even while asleep. By putting one of the most strongest and best smelling plants here, maybe he won't notice the difference, explained Minato. Why don't you just teleport him to the Hokage building? Asked Ino. Cause he may notice the chakra spike while sleeping. He is also a wind master. If he notices the change in wind, then he may wake as well, he explained. She nodded her head and got a weird-looking plant off the shelf. This is the one, she said. Thank you, now let's go, he said. That'll be 3,000 yen, she said. For a plant, he almost screamed out. This isn't just a regular plant. It is one of a kind. The color of its petals is unique, the smell, the taste, the... Okay, how much is it? 3,000 yen, she repeated. Can't you lower the price? He asked. Hey, I'm running a business, not a charity case. Now cough up the cash, she said. Minato grunted and put Naruto down and went into his wallet and gave her the money. She smiled and put it in her pocket. All right, back to work, he whispered and picked Naruto up again. They continued to head towards the door, but then Minato accidentally kicked the bell that once on the door. It rolled while making a jingling sound, and hit a stool. The stool fell down and hit on of the shelves. The shelf lifted up and broke the others on the wall, making a loud crash. Minato winced at the damage and looked at his son. Still sleeping, he muttered. Ino looked at his shop in shock. Half of it was destroyed, by one bell. She then turned to Minato. That'll be 50,000 yen, she said. God damn it, said an angry Minato. Outside. After Minato made the Anbu pitch in for the damages he caused, they finally made it outside. Alright people, long steps from here on out. Make sure you make no noise, said Minato, getting nods from everyone. Minato took 3 long steps, making sure to cover as much ground as he possible could. He looked back and noticed he hardly went anywhere. He looked to the sky and could hardly see the Hokage building. This is going to be a long walk, said Minato. 3 hours later. It was now midnight. The Hokage and his Anbu finally made it to the Hokage building. Naruto hadn't wakened and the plant they got from the shop was put right in front of his nose. Everything was going accordingly to plan. Alright people, next step, getting him inside, said Minato. Mindscape. Kurama was holding a sleeping Naruto in her hands. They were currently in bed and Naruto was sleeping. She smiled as she looked at his sleeping face. She really did love being next to him. They haven't had any interruptions and just enjoyed each other's presence. Kurama was putting her hands through his hair, but then felt a disturbance. What was that? She said to herself as she felt her chakra get blocked for a second. Then, Naruto's body flew out the bed, waking him. Kurama-chan, he asked tiredly. What is happening? She asked as she looked around the seal. It started to change until it a sewer, the same it was years ago. Naruto quickly woke from his sleep form. The mindscape hasn't been a sewer in a long time. Kurama-chan, what's going on? He asked. I don't know, how is this even pos? Chains came from the ground and wrapped themselves around Kurama's waist. Kurama-chan, yelled Naruto as he ran up to, trying to get the chains off of her. Naruto then felt weak and he fell to the ground. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Asked a now scared Kurama. She couldn't feel her power at all, and she knew it was the same for Naruto. I can't move, he whispered out. Something was really wrong. He felt something try to pull him out of his mind and he went up and reached for Kurama's hand, which she grabbed with her own. Kurama-chan, I can't fight this. He said weakly. Yes you can, Naruto-kun. I can't feel my yokai either but we will find a way, I promise you. She said as tears went down her eyes. She didn't even believe the words that came out her mouth. The chains wrapped around her started to pull her back into the seal, making Naruto scream out. Kurama-chan, hold on. He yelled. They still held each other's hand, trying to free Kurama from whatever was happening. Just, hold on, Naruto-kun. Keep holding my hand, she yelled out to him. Naruto's eyes started to feel heavier. He couldn't access his yokai at all. His tails fell to the ground, losing the strength they once held. Kurama-chan, he whispered. Naruto-kun, please, stay with me. I love you. Please don't leave, she yelled. Their hands started to loosen as the chains that was pulling Kurama started to pull her even harder. The couple only had their fingertips touching each other. Naruto-kun, don't go, she whispered as tears cascaded down her eyes. Kurama-chan, I'm sorry, he whispered and went into an unconscious state. Their hands fell from each other and Naruto was forced out the mindscape and Kurama was pulled into the now restored seal. Naruto, she yelled, only to no one. Inside the cell. Naruto's crimson eyes opened to a dull place. He felt really drowsy and his body ached all over. He went to scratch his stomach, only to find that he couldn't move. He opened his eyes fully to reveal that chains were holding him down. His wrists were cuffed in chains that linked to the ground. His legs were held down by chains as well. He looked behind him to see that his tails seemed to be implanted in the ground, metal latches held them inside the ground, making him unable to move them at all. You're awake, said a voice he was all too familiar with. Naruto looked up to see the man he hated most in the world. Minato, he said as he looked upon his father. He looked to his sides to see Jiraiya, Kushina, and Danzo looking down at him. Where was all Naruto said. You are in a max security prison made by me. I had to place you here for the threats that you have said you would do in the future. I couldn't have you walking around free while scaring the people inside Konoha. Said Minato as he looked at his son. I'll escape, just like the last one you made for me. What's so special about this one? Said Naruto. Minato snapped his fingers and lights went on in the area. Naruto looked around as the lights came on one at a time. He was inside a dome-like area. Inside were thousands of seals, all that absorbed and blocked yokai. The chains that he was bound to also had high-level seals placed on him. He felt weak. He couldn't even move his fingertips. You won't leave this cell, said Danzo as he looked at the boy. And just in case you do something we don't like, you receive punishment, like so, said Danzo as he ran through some hand signs. The seal on Naruto's stomach started to glow purple. Pain shot through Naruto, feeling like he was being burnt alive. ARGGGHHHHHH. AAAWWWHHHHHH. He yelled out. He tried to do something, but he couldn't feel any of his strength. Danzo smirked before releasing his hand sign. The pain stopped and Naruto threw up a glob of blood from his mouth. It landed right in front of his shinobi's feet. Naruto started to huff and puff from the pain he just received. Naruto, said Minato. I had to do this. You said you were going to destroy Konoha, and that is my village. I won't let anyone try to harm it, or the people inside. I had to take my role of Hokage and do what I had to do to protect my people. He said. Fuck, half you, half, said Naruto, as he looked up at Minato. Naruto, just listen, said Kushina. If you don't do anything wrong, then maybe you'll be able to get out one day. I said. Half fuck you, said Naruto again. Please understand, Naruto. I had to do this, said Minato. He had serious look on his face, but on the inside he felt like killing himself. Things had gotten so bad with his son that it had to result to this. You shall remain here until I deem fit that you can be released. There will be people to give you food and clean you daily. I will make sure that they do the job right, said Minato as he gave Danzo a hard look, making said man nod his head. Minato then turned back to Naruto. Even through all this, I just want you to know that I still love you, son, said Minato. Naruto just looked up at the man. Hey, he, laughed out Naruto. You still love me. This sure is a funny way to show your love. You made a big prison, just for me, said Naruto as he gave Minato an insane smile. Goodbye, Naruto, said Minato as he and the group turned away and started to walk on the thin walkway. I'll get out of here. And when I do, I'll kill you. I'll kill you, that whore of a woman that says she's my mother, those two damn siblings of mine. You think that I'm a demon now? He. You'll all be dead in minutes. Do you hear me? Minato, yelled Naruto as he looked onwards. The group kept walking forward, not giving Naruto a glance. I'll kill all of them. Your precious village. The villagers. Everything. Everything will be destroyed and bathed in blood. I'll kill them all. Do you hear me, Minato? Yelled Naruto, only to be ignored again. Everyone you know shall die. I'll tear through them all. Do you hear me, Minato? Minato, Danzo, Kushina, and Jiraiya made it to the door and opened it. They started to walk to the safe side of the cell they were currently in. Minato, I know you hear me. Minato, come save your son, Minato. To the same hell that you threw him in. Come to me. Minato. The group finally left the cell, and closed the door, cancelling out Naruto's yells. A month later, things in the village have been going great. Word has spread around that Minato finally locked the demon back up, just like he did 6 years ago. Minato stared to build up on the respect that he lost by Naruto revealing some of his family secrets. Parties went on for days in the streets as the people finally thought that they could sleep peacefully. Menma and Mito reacted terribly to the news. They couldn't believe their parents would agree to this. First they found out what they did to Naruto when he was younger, and now this. It was too much to take in. The children and the adults in the Namikaze family didn't talk like they used to. Sasuke and Sakura took the news even worse. Sakura actually cried when she heard what happened to Naruto. She couldn't believe that the Hokage locked Naruto up again. Sakura hasn't cried in a while, and if she did, she would have never thought that it would be over Naruto. She actually grew onto Naruto, even if he acted like a dick all the time. This was the person that taught her who to live in the shinobi world, teaching her jutsu and survival techniques, getting her far into the Chunin exams, saving her life on missions. How could she ever repay Naruto? She couldn't now, since he was finally locked up to never return. Sasuke, on the other hand, took it worse. He went so far as to even jump at the Hokage. The Anbu apprehended Sasuke, but Minato told them to let him go. Minato would just look at the last loyal Uchiha with a sad face before leaving to go finish his work. Sasuke talked to no one other than Sakura ever since Naruto has been locked up. He threw himself into his own training program, only letting Sakura to come inside the Uchiha compound to train. If someone were to talk to him, he wouldn't even recognize their existence. The only people he actually showed emotion, other than Sakura, was to the Namikaze family, and that emotion was hate. Sasuke blamed them for everything that has happened recently, and almost beat down Menma when he saw him. Mito avoided the Uchiha, but when Sasuke saw her, he cursed her out like a sailor. Sasuke even cursed out Kushina, and when Kushina threatened him, he told her that Mikoto would be ashamed of her, stopping Kushina in her tracks. She couldn't believe Sasuke would pull out something like that. Kakashi felt bad for Naruto as well. He sometimes was with the group that guarded his cell, so he saw Naruto sometimes. When he would try to talk to the chained-up boy, he didn't receive an answer back, Naruto choosing to look down at the ground, not saying a word. The others in the Rookie 12 took the situation differently as well. Kiba was glad that Naruto was locked up, still mad at what Naruto did to him in the Chunin exams. Shino, Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino felt bad about the situation that Naruto was in. They should have befriended him while in the academy. He should have had some type of friends to be with while growing up. Sai was actually another person that guarded Naruto in his cell. He did work for Danzo after all, and he was in charge of watching Naruto at all times. Hinata, on the other hand, was a special case. She never liked Naruto, and while they grew up, she didn't like him because Menma didn't like him, trying to get closer to her crush. Now, when her and Menma would go out, he would be spaced out and she knew what he was thinking about. She actually found the boy close to tears as he was looking at a family picture of the Izunami's family, but Naruto wasn't in it. Hinata didn't hate Naruto anymore, but she didn't like him as well. He was scary and a demon, to things that she didn't like. But seeing her fiancé like this over his brother hurt her heart. He really did feel bad about how things were going. Jiraiya left Konoha for a while, saying that he had to get back on his spy network, but promised to come back soon. He had to make sure that Konoha was protected from any of her secrets getting out to the world. Tsunade was shocked how things were in Konoha. She felt bad when she remembered what Naruto told her about running away from her past. She saw that Naruto was taking on his past head-on, but has lost the battle in it, even if his goal was destroying Konoha. She felt even worse when she had a look at the prison he was staying in, seeing his body lumped over, his arms being held to the sides by chains made her eyes water. Konoha, overall, was going through a time of peace, even though there was a demon boy in a prison a mile underground, the same ground the people of Konoha walked on every day. Children were playing in the streets, people were buying goods from the street vendors, and everyone had a smile on their face. The day that a certain group of people waited for has finally approached. October 10th. Menma, Mito, and Naruto's birthday. Uchiha compound head house. Sasuke opened his eyes and yawned. He really had a good slumber. He, Kakashi, and Sakura came back from a B-rank mission yesterday. They had to rid of a bandit camp that had some ninjas in it, but they were quickly removed by Sasuke and Sakura. Sakura has gotten a bit more ruthless, seeing as she killed a good 10 people yesterday. Sasuke didn't care though, he actually thought that she looked good showing off her strength. She looked pretty cute. Sasuke cut those thoughts off and looked at the clock. 8:30 a.m., October 10th. Wait a second. Sasuke instantly jumped out of his bed and put on his cloths. Today was the day. The day that he and Sakura could see Naruto. Haruno residence. Sasuke knocked on the front door. He and Sakura had plans for today. They had the day off, and she asked if they could have the day with each other, which he agreed to. Yes, Sasuke wasn't afraid to admit it. He started to catch feelings for one Sakura Haruno. He would never say it out loud though, so no one would ever know. The door swung open and Sakura appeared in the doorway. She had a smile so bright that it almost hurt Sasuke's eyes. She looked pretty excited, which she was. Sasuke Uchiha finally said yes to one of her date requests. Hey, Sasuke-kun, she said with a smile as she hugged him, making him blush. Good morning, Sakura, said Sasuke as he just stood there, enjoying the hug as much as he could. She let go and gave him another beaming smile. You ready for the day? I have it all planned out, she said and opened a scroll. The scroll hit the ground and continued to roll off. On the top of the list it said, a list of to-do things with Sasuke-kun on October 10th. Sasuke just looked at his list with wide eyes. Maybe he should just cancel. Come on. Times are wasting, and we have to see Naruto today at the end, she said and grabbed hold of his arm, linking them together. The two blushed at Sakura's move and the physical contact between each other. Sakura was the first to recover and pulled Sasuke with her to town. It's going to be a long day, whispered Sasuke as he was dragged off. Izunami's estate. Menma opened his eyes and yawned. He really had a good sleep. He had a dream that him and Hinata finally, hey, you get what I mean. His eyes snapped open as he looked at the clock on his nightstand. It's my birthday, he yelled and jumped out of bed. He opened his door to see that the door adjacent to his opened up as well. Mito was wearing a big red shirt with black sweatpants on, while Menma was wearing a muscle shirt and black shorts. It's our birthday. The two yelled to each other and hugged. They did this every year, waking at the same time and opening the door at the same time. They just had that twin magic. They ran downstairs to see that their mother and father were already downstairs. Minato sitting at the dinner table drinking a coffee and reading the newspaper, and Kushina was cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Happy birthday, you two. They both said, getting smile from their children. Who wants ramen? Said Kushina from the kitchen. Even though the family had some tension, this day had to be special. Me. The young Azunamika's kids said. Today was going to be a good day. Comma. Yeah, right. Underground. Naruto opened his crimson eyes. He looked around to see that he was still chained up in this cursed seal. So far he has tried to collect some of his yokai and break the seals on him, but he has only made 3 out of the hundreds of thousands of seals surrounding him. He didn't know what day it was, feeling like he had been in the damn cell forever. Kurama-chan. Naruto whispered out, but got no reply. Ever since he was locked up, he couldn't communicate with Kurama at all. It was killing him inside. The only reason he was living for was gone. He couldn't even try to kill himself, since he was stuck in these damn chains. His tails were trapped behind him, and every time he moved, it hurt a little because they were held down so tight. Naruto was wearing no shirt at all, showing that his stomach was small and skinny. The seals really did a number on his body. He had on some black sweatpants on and no shoes at all. He felt like the weakest thing alive in the cell. He couldn't move, his confidence was getting lower and lower every day, and he couldn't even talk to the one that meant everything to him. He was worried at what was happening with Kurama right now. The lights then cut on, blinding Naruto. He hated when they did that. They always came in at random times, so he could never be prepared for the lights flashing on. Mooring time, said a masked Anbu. Naruto has found out that some of the people that guard him were Danzo's men. He would make sure that he would have his top ninja to watch Naruto 24/7. Naruto was never alone in his prison. Time to eat, said the masked ninja and put a bowl of oatmeal in front of him. This was another thing that he hated about this place. The damn food. Whoever made this shit needed to retire. He kept telling them that he only ate meat and oranges, but they wouldn't have it. The Anbu lifted a spoon from the bowl and put it to Naruto's mouth. Eat, was all the ninja said. Naruto opened his mouth and started eating the slop that was called food. The first couple of days they did this he didn't eat at all. By the fourth, he had to eat. He was too hungry and not eating was only killing him. When he was finished, he was surprised that the Anbu put a piece of meat in front of his face. What is this? Asked Naruto. This never happened. Today's a special day, now eat up, said the masked ninja. He had an extra bowl with cut pieces of ham. Naruto instantly devoured the meat. It tasted so good. When he was finished with his food, the Anbu grabbed the bowls and left the prison area. A little while later, he came back with a bucket of soap water, towels, and a brush, making Naruto groan. Bath time, said the Anbu. Naruto hated this. The man would use this hard-ass brush against his thin skin. He wouldn't even clean his tails. And when he was cleaned everywhere. The man took off Naruto's sweatpants, leaving him completely nude, another thing that he hated. Couldn't they have a damn female do this instead of a man? I mean, Naruto was 100% faithful to Kurama, but a man washing a little boy didn't sound right at all. The man poured some water on top of Naruto and went to scrubbing. Naruto was grunting in pain as the man made sure to get Naruto squeaky clean. The man would do Naruto so wrong. He would use the brush and scrub underneath Naruto's nuts, and then use the same brush and clean his face. I mean, come on. Couldn't the man put the brush back in the water before going to his face? And he would do it every time. Naruto was rethinking about killing Minato first and killing this man before everyone. The man finished cleaning Naruto and put his cloths back on, making Naruto thank whatever god that was up there. He hated his caretaker. The man put his supplies away and looked at Naruto. Happy birthday, he said before leaving Naruto to himself. Today's my birthday, he said to himself. He didn't care. If Kurama-chan wasn't here to celebrate it, then it didn't mean anything to him. I don't care. Today is just another day, said Naruto. How wrong he was. With Menma and Hinata, the young couple were walking together in the street hand in hand. People moved out their way, recognizing who they were. The two were smiling and talking to each other, proving they were having a good time. The two went to a restaurant and got a private booth, Menma wanting his fiancée to have the best seat in the house. So, what are your other plans today, birthday boy? Asked Hinata as she drank from her straw. I don't know honestly, said Menma as he leaned back. I have to go back home in a couple hours to meet up with everyone. He said. Why? She asked. Today's the day we go see my older brother, said Menma, making Hinata stop drinking and give him her total attention. Naruto. Why see him? She asked. She really did think that family put him in the cell to just forget about the past mistakes. Because, it is also his birthday today as well. He is my older brother and I must go see him, said Menma. Even after he tried to kill you? She asked. Yes. Naruto hasn't felt real love all his life. He doesn't trust anyone. The chances of him ever being a family with us is slim to none. Even after all this, he is my family and what he did to us, we deserved, said Menma. But aren't you scared of him? This boy has the strength stronger than Biju and then has the strongest Biju inside him that will lend him power whenever. Even knowing all that, you still would pursue in your brother's love? She asked him. Yes. I mean, wouldn't you do the same for your sister? Asked Menma. Hinata did think about it and he was right. Her sister meant the world to her. She would do anything to save her if something went wrong. Yes, I understand, she said with a smile as she nibbled on her food. Good. 'Cause I wanted to ask you something, said Menma. Ask away, said Hinata. I want you to come with us to see Naruto, he said with a smile, surprising her. Are you sure? I mean, I don't want to intrude, said Hinata. You won't. I'm sure Tu-san and Ka-san will let you come with us, said Menma. Hinata thought about the proposition she has been given. She really didn't want to see Naruto, but if it made Menma happy. All right, I'll go, she said, making Menma smile. All right. Thank you, Hinata-chan, he said, making her giggle. Anything for you, she said, and the two shared a quick kiss. Nighttime, the start of the Kyuubi festival. The Kyuubi festival was a big thing in Konoha. It was the one day that everyone celebrated the Kyuubi being defeated by the third and fourth Hokage. The chakra was sealed into the two gifted children, Menma and Mito, while the soul was sealed into the demon boy, Naruto. But things were different this year. Now that the public knows what happened that night 13 years ago, they wondered if they should even praise Minato, Menma, and Mito. Granted, the parties were still going on, but the theme of it all was messed up. Kushina, Minato, Menma, Mito, and Hinata walked down in the middle of the festival with royal-like kimonos on. They all looked like royalty. People made a pathway for them when they walked, but they didn't receive as much praise like they usually did. Some people clapped and cheered, some just watched, while others just ignored them completely. The family wasn't worried about that. They were only worried about one thing and one person only. They were walking their way to the Hokage building. It was time to see Naruto. Underground. Naruto heard his cell door open, but he didn't look up from his position. He already had a feeling who it was. Naruto just closed his eyes and kept his head down. The group approached Naruto's downed form. They had the protective sealing tags placed on them, so they were all right to go inside. Hinata, Mito, and Menma looked around the cell in awe. The whole structure was just amazing, even if it held a deadly person. The group finally made it to Naruto. Seeing as he wasn't going to talk, Minato made start of a conversation. Hello, Naruto, said the man. Quote, quote. Are the Anbu treating you right here? Asked Minato. Quote, quote. Naruto, please talk to us. I know it has been a while, but please talk, pleaded Minato. Quote, quote. Kushina knelt down to her son and put her soft hands on his shoulders. Naruto, do you want something for your birthday? She asked. To see Kurama-chan, said Naruto, making Kushina frown. You know we can't let you do that, she said. Quote, quote. Mito then leaned down next to her oldest brother. Naruto, I just wanted to let you know how things were going ever since you got down here. I have really been training hard and my water jutsu has gone up a whole bunch. She said. I still can't do a one-handed Rasengan, but I will one day. I've started to pick up on Kenjutsu. Car-san has started to teach me and, tears started pouring down her eyes. I just want to let you know that I really missed you. Even though we don't get along, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry for everything. I want to get to know my big brother more. Please, just talk to us. She wailed. Quote. Naruto, can't you talk to your little sister? Asked Kushina, tears threatening to come out her eyes as well. Quote. Kushina hugged her daughter as she cried into her mother's shoulder. Menma then knelt next to his mother and sister, facing his brother. Hey, Naruto, Menma here. I brought Hinata-chan with me so she could see you. She's going to be a part of the family one day, so I thought it would be a good idea to bring her here. He said. Quote. I know you don't want to hear it, but I've been training as well. I've been trying to get faster without my Harishin, because you never know what situation you can get in, no. I have been getting better at my shurikenjutsu and that. I'm telling you, there's nothing dangerous in the damn bag, so get off me. Yelled a familiar voice, making Naruto's eyes snap open. The door opened and through it came Sasuke and Sakura. Sakura had a little shopping bag she brought with her, knowing that Naruto was going to need some stuff. The two walked inside in their regular ninja cloths, looking around the cell in awe, just like their ex-classmates were earlier. Wow, this place is big, said Sakura. It is, said Sasuke, as he looked around, getting a little scared when he saw the narrow walkway and the spikes that surrounded them. He saw the Izunamika's family and growled. Sakura, there are people already here, said Sasuke. Sakura looked up to the family, and her look of awe turned into a frown. Oh, I didn't know they were here. No matter, we shall still do what we came here for, said Sakura as she dragged Sasuke to Naruto. The family scooted to the side as Sakura and Sasuke came up to Naruto. Hey, Naruto, how you've been? Asked Sakura. Quote. Now don't be like that. We got a surprise for you. I just know you're going to like it, she said with a grin. The group heard Naruto take a deep breath and lift up his head. Why did you come? Asked Naruto, surprising the Namika's family a lot. He doesn't talk to them, but he talks to these two. To see you, of course. Else would we? You told us before not to ask dumb questions, said Sasuke with a smirk. Watch you mouth, Uchiha. I don't care if I am in these chains, I will still find a way to kill you, said Naruto. Even though I believe you would, it's kind of hard to believe since you're like this, he said with a smirk, knowing he got Naruto. I can't wait to kill you. You know I don't forget things, whispered Naruto, making Sasuke actually afraid. All right now, we have some things for you, said Sakura and put her hand in the bag she brought. The two swore they saw Naruto's eyes sparkle and light up when she pulled out a couple oranges. Oranges? You brought oranges? Whispered Naruto in disbelief. It felt so long since he saw the only fruit he would eat. It was his favorite food over everything, and for her to bring him this. That's not all, she said and brought a hairbrush from out the bag. This is for your tails, she said. Naruto just looked at the items they brought with a blank face. They did all this for him. Why are you doing this? Asked Naruto, catching their attention. What do you mean? We're doing this cause we're friends, said Sakura, Sasuke nodding his head in agreement. Naruto's eyes widened and his head snapped up when he heard the word, friends. He never heard someone in his life call him that. Not even Kurama did, only calling him, beloved, or, mate, but never, friend. Hearing that was a new experience for him. You trained us, Naruto, we have to repay you somehow. You're almost like a sensei to us, even though Sasuke-kun and I are older than you. Even though you don't have many feelings, you are important to us, said Sakura. Naruto, even though you probably hate us just for being Konoha ninja, you really did change my life, said Sasuke. You made me become the shinobi I once dreamt about, and I know that I can get better. But I had to start somewhere, and you gave me the right push in my ninja training. You are my rival, but are my friend even more. My best friend, finished Sasuke. Best friend, Naruto repeated. He couldn't believe it. This was too much. He never had this before. Naruto then looked at his shackles and the seals around him. He saw the seals on the wall, the same ones that suppressed his power. He then looked at the Namika's family that were just looking at Team 7. Trust no one, Kurama's words rang through his head. Trust no one other than yourself and me. Trust me more than anything else, even yourself. I am always right, no one loves you but me. All those humans out there hate you because you are a demon. They will never love you. And you shall never love them. You shall hate them because they were the ones that put you down for so long, thinking that you were weak, but you are strong. You can handle all the hate they throw at you and throw it back 100 times stronger. You are better than them. If you trust a human, they will only stab you in the back later on. Those words rang through Naruto's head. Kurama told him this when he was about to graduate the academy. She wanted to make sure that he only stayed loyal to her, and no one else. I don't believe you, said Naruto, shocking everyone in the prison. The Namikaze family, Hinata, Sakura, and Sasuke eyes widened as they looked at Naruto put his head down and closed his eyes. Humans shall never understand me. The pain that I have gone through was caused by you all. I don't care that you came here trying to get on my good side. I shall continue to hate Konoha and everything in it forever, until I take my last breath. Konoha is not a good place, the people even worse. I have been lied to and betrayed before, and it only ended up with me being beaten to an inch of my life because of my status growing up. I now know that trust you all is the wrong thing to do, said Naruto, as he remembered Tuki and Ayami, the two ramen shop owners, lying and betraying him years ago. He never forgot about that. He thought those two would be his first friends, but they sold him off for cash. My goal is to destroy Konoha, and anything in it. Get in my way and you're dead. No exceptions. He finished. Sasuke and Sakura looked at Naruto with frowns on their faces. They should have expected this. Naruto has told them the same exact words one day in their training. He was determined to finish off their home village. Naruto had his eyes closed and was leaning down, the position he has been in for a month. He was surprised when he felt something against his lips. He opened his eyes to see an orange slice in front of his lips. You've told us this before, Naruto. I know that you don't believe us, but that doesn't mean that to us, you're our friend. So eat up. It is your birthday after all, said Sakura with a smile. Naruto looked at the orange slice, before biting it whole. Damn, I've missed this, said Naruto as he kept eating the slices that were put in front of him. Sasuke-kun, brush Naruto's tails. They don't look as smooth as they used to, said Sakura. Can't I just feed him the oranges? Brushing another man's hair just sounds wrong, even if that so-called part is tails, said Sasuke. Sakura sighed and gave the bag of oranges to Sasuke, while she took the brush and went to tend to his tails. Naruto now really felt good. Having you tails brushed for you while eating oranges. Heaven couldn't get better than this. The door to the prison slammed open and Jiraiya came through. Here, I've brought you here. So quick you nagging, yelled Jiraiya to someone. About time. Your slow ass had to go talk to females. They didn't even like you, yelled Gamakichi as he jumped off of Jiraiya's right shoulder. Heyyyyyyyyy. Big brother, wait for me, said Gamatatsu. The two young toads jumped towards Naruto who was looking at the frogs in surprise. Gamakichi, Gamatatsu, what are you doing here? Asked Naruto as he went for another slice. We came to see you, of course, said Gamakichi. I told you that you're my buddy, and I meant it, he said and jumped on his shoulder. Yeah, plus you were nice to me when we had that guy's night, so you good with me, said Gamatatsu as he jumped on Naruto's other shoulder. The Namikaze family watched as Sasuke, Sakura, Gamakichi, Gamatatsu talked to Naruto as they have been friends for the longest time. They couldn't do anything to jump in the conversation. They felt outmatched by the two genin, and two frogs. Minato then stepped up to Naruto, cutting the conversation the group had about what Kakashi's real face looked like. Naruto, he started. We're about to go. Happy birthday, son. Do you want anything else? He asked, trying to get close to his son. Leave, no one wants any of you here, said Naruto with a glare. Minato huffed and left the prison area, his family giving Naruto looks of sorrow before leaving. I hope that you two don't give me warts from sitting on my shoulders, said Naruto, making Gamakichi mad. Hey, I heard that. Time to face punishment, he yelled and started to hit Naruto on top of his head. It didn't hurt, and just the sight made everyone there, except Naruto of course, laugh. The group spent hours talking until the day was up and they all had to leave. All right, time to go. It's October 11th now. Come see him whenever the Hokage allows, said a new person. It was a Jonin instead of a Anbu. All right, Naruto buddy, I'll see you some other time, said the frog. Bye, said Gamatotsu, and the two disappeared in a plum of smoke. We'll see you later, Naruto, said Sasuke. Yeah, whenever we can, said Sakura. She hugged Naruto while Sasuke patted his back. They both started to walk away. All right, lights out, said the Jonin as he started to walk towards the door. Naruto closing his eyes, getting ready to sleep another night. Aloe. Wait. Naruto eyes shot back up as he looked on the back of the Jonin's outfit. He had on the regular attire, but what was attached to the back of his uniform was what caught his attention. On the back of the Jonin's jacket was a piece of paper, but not any regular piece of paper. It was the anti-sealing array that blocked off all the chakra absorption and suppression seals in the prison. Naruto examined the seal quickly and carefully. He had to make sure that he would burn the seal array to his memory. Every detail, curve of the ink, everything. When the Jonin closed the door behind him, it was already too late. Naruto had a smile on his face as the lights in the prison went off. The only thing you could see in the darkness was a pair of red eyes. Finally, I wait to get out, said Naruto, as he closed his eyes, making plans for his escape. Haruno residence. Sasuke and Sakura approached Sakura's doorstep. There was a peaceful silence between the two, just enjoying the walk they had with each other. Once they made it to the door, Sakura stepped up and turned around to Sasuke. Thank you, Sasuke-kun. I really had a good time, she said. Yeah, me too, he said with a smile. The two stared into the other's eyes, not noticing that they were getting closer and closer. Finally, their lips met and the two shared their first kiss together. It was a simple kiss, but was backed up with a flood of emotions behind it. When they pulled back, they turned their heads and blushed. So, I'll see you tomorrow. I mean, earlier on today, he asked, switching what he said since it was past midnight. Yeah, I'll see you later, she said with a smile as she entered her house and closed it. Sasuke walked off the lot with a smile on his face. After a while, when he was far enough from the Haruno residence, he started to check his surroundings. When he noticed that he was alone, he pumped his hand in the air. Yes, he said as he continued his walk home. When he was about to walk to his property, he instantly fell down as a wave of pain rushed up his body. He put his hand on his unprotected curse mark, the pain increasing every second. Damn it, maybe I should tell Kakashi about this, he said as he trudged home. He has been ignoring the pain from the mark for a while now. Sasuke made it to his bed and instantly fell asleep. A week later, Sasuke was at Training Ground 7 doing a light exercises, getting ready for a solo training session. Team 7 had another off day and he was going to put it to good use. He didn't want to get rusty from all the off time they were getting. Sasuke was about to start training, but then he felt someone's presence coming his way. Someone he didn't want to talk to. Menma came from the bushes to find Sasuke glaring at him. Why are you here? Asked Sasuke. I came to ask you some things about my brother, said Menma with a serious voice. No, said Sasuke and turned his head away from the other genin. And why not? Yelled Menma. I know that we aren't on the best terms, but at least stop being so stubborn for once. I can do whatever I feel like. I don't take orders from you, said Sasuke. I'll make you if I have to, growled Menma. What are you going to do, Go tell your father to make me talk. I don't have to, seeing I've told the man everything about Naruto, said Sasuke. No, there has to be more. When you and Sakura were talking to him, you all sounded the best of friends. If I were to do what you all did, then maybe I'll have a better chance at being a good brother, replied Menma. Get lost, I don't talk to arrogant fools like you, said Sasuke. I'm arrogant. Then what are you? Yelled Menma at Sasuke. Superior than you, said Sasuke. You wish you were. I am the Hokage's son. I will. In the Chunin exams, said Sasuke, cutting Menma off, you faced Neji Hyuga. You would have lost but you used the Kyuubi's chakra in you at the time to win. Your battle with Shino you used to Kyuubi's chakra to deflect all of Shino's bugs. In your battle with Dosu, if he hadn't hesitated at the last second, you would have lost. Your past wins haven't been from your own skill, but the Kyuubi's. You are weak, and I don't wish to be around you. You were born with a spoon in your mouth while I struggled. You were born in a rich clan as well. Yelled Menma, mad that Sasuke said that he won off of someone else's skill, so what's the difference between you and me? Because that spoon of wealth and family was ripped out at a young age when your father ordered my brother to kill the Uchiha clan. Yelled Sasuke, starting to get mad at the boy who invaded on his training session. I don't care. All I came here for was more information on my brother. Yelled Menma, then grabbing a three-pronged kunai, and I'll beat it out of you if I need to. You shall lose, said Sasuke, activating his Sharingan. Please, against you, mocked Menma. I beat you, sister, how much different could you be? Asked Sasuke with a smirk. Menma, with a yell of anger, threw a couple of kunai towards Sasuke. Sasuke jumped away from the kunai and went through some hand signs. Kaiten, fireball jutsu. He yelled and shot a large fireball at Menma. Menma jumped over the flaming hot ball and threw some more kunai at Sasuke. Kaiten, Phoenix Sage Fire Technique. He yelled and sent the fireballs at the kunai and at Menma. Menma substituted with a log in the forest and ran up from behind Sasuke. Raiten, Twitching Limb Technique. He said and lightning danced around Menma's palms. He went to touch Sasuke's arm, but was surprised when it was a log he ended up touching. Kaiten, Dragon Fire Technique. Yelled Sasuke from behind Menma, and sent a stream of fire to Menma. Menma quickly flashed away towards one of his kunai. If you keep running then you won't win, said Sasuke as he looked at the blonde-haired opponent. Menma gritted his teeth in anger before charging at Sasuke with kwani in hand. Sasuke readied himself and his Sharingan spun in his eyes as he predicated Menma's moves. Menma went to stab at Sasuke, but the Uchiha circled around the boy and kicked him in his back. Menma grunted in pain as he was pushed forward. He twisted his body and threw one of his kwani at Sasuke. Sasuke caught the kunai with his left hand and punched at the space in front of him with his right. Just then, Menma appeared and wasn't ready to block the punch that hit his face, sending him back where he came from. Sasuke smirked and threw the kunai at Menma's downed form. Menma had to push off the ground with his hands as the kunai landed right where he used to be. Menma made some cage bushions and they all rushed at him. Sasuke went a taijutsu match with them all and used their moves against them to dispel them. Once cleared, Sasuke looked at Menma with a blank face. That's it. Just kunai play, huh? Said Sasuke, making Menma even more angry than earlier. He made two clones and they rushed at him. Sasuke was about to take him out, but saw that a lot of chakra was concentrated in them. He instantly knew what they were and smirked. He grabbed both of the clones' arms and threw them back at Menma, making him widen his eyes in shock, knowing what would happen if the clones exploded. Sasuke sent some kunai towards Menma, trying to hit the clones. Menma instantly used his Haraishin and disappeared in a yellow flash. He was confused when he ended up right behind the clones that were about to hit the ground. He looked at the kunai and his eyes widened again. He used my own kwani to hit the clones, knowing that I would use Haraishin to dodge, thought a surprised Menma. The clones behind him hit the ground and dispel, and a great explosion came from the two. Menma received some of the explosion and making him fly off into the tree line of the forest, the force of the blast being too much for him. See. Weak. You're backed up in a corner, Menma. But this time you don't have the Kyuubi's chakra and I won't hesitate to defeat you. Sasuke yelled out to Menma. Menma groaned as the burn marks on his back began to sting. He had to win. He couldn't let Sasuke talk about him this way and not get back at him. Sasuke waited for Menma to come out, and when he did, he came rushing with a full-charged Rasengan in his hands. Hey, that's how you want to go. Fine then. He yelled and put his left arm on the wrist of his right. He charged up his lightning chakra in his hand until a fully made Chidori appeared. Sasuke started running towards Menma, but noticed that the Menma in front of him was a clone. He smirked and sped up, making his body look like a blur. The clone Menma couldn't react as the blur appeared in front of him and sent a lightning-enhanced palm through him. Sasuke continued towards trees, looking for Menma. Menma came from the woods with a Rasengan also in his hand. The two rushed at each other, getting ready for the final blow. When the two was about to make contact, they were both grabbed by the wrist and slung away from each other. Menma landed on the ground hard, his Rasengan tearing through the ground underneath it. Sasuke straightened himself up in the air and landed on his feet, and looked up at the person that stopped them. Kakashi looked at the two with anger in his eyes. That really was close. If he hadn't have came, then someone here would have died. What is going on here? Yelled Kakashi. Sasuke pointed his finger to the still recovering Menma and spoke. That fool attacked me when I denied his request to give him more information about Naruto. Said Sasuke. Menma, is that true? Asked Kakashi. Yeah, so what? I need that information to get closer to Naruto. He yelled. I told you, there's no helping it. You won't get closer to you because he won't ever accept anyone in Konoha. So stop giving people trouble and go back home. Yelled Sasuke, his anger starting to get to him. Shut up. Yelled Menma as he tried to charge at Sasuke again, but Kakashi held him back. Menma, stop right now. I'm telling your father about this. Yelled Kakashi. Menma just grunted and turned his head. I'm sorry, Sasuke, that this has happened. Please carry about your business. Said Kakashi as he disappeared with Menma in a puff of smoke. Sasuke waited until he was sure that he was alone, and then put his hand on his shoulder, almost yelling in pain. It was getting unbearable. He had to do something about the mark. He then walked home, making sure no one saw his mark. Uchiha compound. Sasuke was walking home, the mark fully taking over his left side. He didn't feel any pain now. Once he gave up to the mark, then he didn't feel any at all. He had to hide this, though. He didn't need people thinking that he was one of Orochimaru's subordinates. Sasuke was walking home, but noticed 4 chakra signals coming towards him. He instantly suppressed the mark and stood his guard. Then, 4 people jumped around him. So this is Sasuke Uchiha. The person we're supposed to take with us. Doesn't seem like much to us. Said a boy with 6 arms, 3 on each side. Who are you? Asked Sasuke, but it was more of a demand. He was getting itchy, the mark was telling him to fight all these unnamed shinobi. We are of Otogaku. We have come to give you an opportunity to come with us to Orochimaru-sama to receive training from him. Said a boy with a hump on his back. Huh, so he finally made his move. Said Sasuke. He wants you special because of your Sharingan, and if you do, then you will surely get closer to the end of your brother, the person that killed off your whole family. Saken said. So Orochimaru doesn't know the truth about the Uchiha massacre. Maybe I could use this to my advantage. Thought Sasuke, already forming a plan in his head. How do I know I can trust him in my training? Asked Sasuke. Because, we are the Sound 4, personal bodyguards of Orochimaru. He has personally oversee our training and we are well above high Chunin level. Said the boy. Really now? Said Sasuke, a smile getting to his face. The curse mark was getting to him. Even though it didn't spread out. How about a demonstration? Are you sure? Asked Saken, the other members laughing. Who did this boy think he was? Oh, I'm pretty sure. Said Sasuke as he disappeared, surprising everyone at his speed. He then appeared in front of Jirobo and kicked him right in his belly, forcing him away and into a building. Kidomaru sent his spider webs at Sasuke, but he easily dodged them all. Saken jumped at him and tried to go for a punch, but Sasuke caught him and threw Saken over his shoulder, then rushing at Kidomaru. He heard music and stopped a couple feet of Kidomaru. He turned his head to the redhead of the group, seeing her play her flute. He instantly understood that she was trying to put him in a genjutsu and smiled. He shunshined next to her and lifted her head, making them have eye contact. He turned on his Sharingan and readied his genjutsu. Demonic illusion, shackling stakes. He whispered and Tayuya was immobile. He knew that it wouldn't hold her down for long, but it would be long enough. Sasuke put his sights on Kidomaru and went through some hand signs. Kaiten, Dragon Flame Technique. He yelled and sent a stream of flames towards the 6-armed boy. Kidomaru jumped over the flames and readied his spider webs, but he was kicked to the ground by Sasuke. How did he get up there so fast? Thought the boy as he hit the ground. The Sound 4 all recovered and go into their taijutsu stances. They all started to grow marks on their skin. Sasuke saw that their chakra was rising a lot. You got lucky, but this time is for real. Said Saken. No, I don't wish to continue. I can tell by your chakra levels that if I were to continue fighting, I would lose. Wisely stated Sasuke. The Sound 4 looked at each other for a while, before loosening up and their curse mark receding back to normal. So, what now? Asked Sasuke. We meet up outside the village, on the northern side. We meet at late night, make sure no one follows you. Said Saken. Sasuke nodded his head and the sound 4 disappeared. Time to go see that man, whispered Sasuke as he trudged back to the village. Hokage's office. Minato was having a good day. He didn't have a lot of paperwork and he was reading some of his sensei's, amazing work, He really did have a good day. Granted, there was that thing with Menma attacking Sasuke, but he handled it quickly, putting the boy on punishment and sent him out. He didn't want to hear his son's mouth right now. He was having a good time by himself, his feet kicked up on his desk, and he was leaning back in his chair. Oh, that's one dirty girl. I wish Kushina would do that. But no, she doesn't swallow, yelled Minato as he read the little red book. Oh, what's happening next? Oh no, she didn't. Whoop her ass, you dirty. Minato's office door swung open, scaring the shit out of him. He instantly put his book underneath him and put his feet on the floor. Who dares comes in my office and... Shut up and listen, yelled Sasuke as he was huffing and puffing. He really needed to explain his plan to the Hokage and quick. I need your help. And I need you to cooperate, said Sasuke. Nara compound the next morning. ZZ, snore asterisk, clouds ZZ. Shikamaru's door was kicked open as his mother came in. Shikamaru, wake up. Minato-sama has requested your assistance. His mother yelled. ZZ, marriage, bad, ZZ. I said wake up. She yelled and hit him in the head with a skillet. Ah, what the hell, Mom, what do you want? Yelled Shikamaru. Go to the Hokage's office. You have been called for an emergency meeting. She yelled at him. Yeah, maybe I could get just another couple of minutes of sleep. Now, she yelled, making him get up and change cloths. Hokage's office. You called, asterisk yawn asterisk, Hokage-sama, said Shikamaru. Yes, I shall get straight to the point, Sasuke Uchiha needs to be rescued, said Minato, getting Shikamaru's attention. What happened? He asked. Sasuke was branded by Orochimaru's curse mark in the Forest of Death during the Chunin exams. He didn't tell anybody about it because he didn't want to cause problems for anyone. Now, he told me last night that the curse mark was getting too strong for him to no longer ignore. He would soon give in to its influence, said Minato. So why is this a rescue mission? Shouldn't be a retrieval mission instead? Asked the Nara. No, Sasuke doesn't want to leave the village, so he has devised a plan, said Minato. He said that he would go to the Sound 4 and that I should send ninja behind him. When Sasuke has found a way to relive himself of the curse mark, he would turn right back around and come back to Konoha. To make sure that this goes well, I need to send a team of ninja, with you being the leader, and to go track him down and make sure he comes back. We don't need to kill the enemy, just wait at the right time. Understood, said Minato, and got a nod from Shikamaru. Good, you have 30 minutes to go get a team and meet on the northern gates of the village. You shall leave immediately. I have one request from Sasuke and it was not to choose Sakura for the team. She would be too emotionally blind and would attack without consult, risking the success rate of the mission. Now go, commanded Minato, and Shikamaru ran from the room. 30 minutes later, northern gates of the village. All right, we're all set, said Shikamaru as he looked over his team. Choji, Neji, Kiba and Akamaru, himself, and Menma were all in front of the gates, ready to face the challenge coming for them. Listen, Shikamaru started, I'll start by saying that some of you may not like Sasuke Uchiha. Personally, I never liked the boy either, he said, shocking the group. But either way, he is a Konoha ninja. He is my comrade and I'll do anything I need to get him back home. He hasn't betrayed the leaf, but trying to withstand the whispers in his head telling him to. When Sasuke has found a way to get the mark off or suppressed, we keep up the act of him leaving the village to gain power from Orochimaru. Understood, Shikamaru commanded, getting a nod from the group. After checking each other's supplies, they all headed off to the forest. The group were taking a break, trying to observe their enemies. Kiba, can you pinpoint what level our enemies are on? Asked Shikamaru. Kiba and Akamaru went to sniffing the air, and when they did they gained surprised faces. They're all mid to high Jonin levels. This is crazy. We can't handle them, yelled the dog boy. He is correct. They are all very powerful. It would be best to call in some reinforcements, said Neji, his Byakugan activated. His is right. Can anybody send a message to the Hokage? Asked Shikamaru. Menma went through some hand sign and put his hand to the ground. Summoning, he said, and in a puff of smoke, a toad with googles on his head appeared. Can you tell my father that the group perusing Sasuke Uchiha are facing shinobi of higher rank and to bring reinforcements? Asked Menma. No problem. I'll go to Minato-sama now, said the frog and disappeared. Should we keep going? Asked Choji. Yes, the group is leaving their position now. It seems they are carrying some kind of coffin. We need to move out now, said Neji. Alright then, let's go, said Shikamaru said, and they all went back to jumping after the ninja. Hokage's office. Minato just heard the message he got from the Sasuke retrieval team, and he was backed in a corner. He didn't have anyone to send to back them up. All the Jonin were off taking missions left and right, since Konoha still had some damages to pay for from the invasion. The only thing he had were genin, but they couldn't do a thing against Jonin level ninja. Damn it. What am I going to do? I can't be responsible for a whole team of deaths unless I do something now, yelled Minato. Are you sure you have no one to send, Hokage-sama? Asked his assistant. Yes, I'm positive. Kushina and Mito went out on a mission 2 days ago and they still haven't returned. Who could I send? He yelled and hit his head on the desk. When he did, a name instantly came to his mind. He just sat there for a while, silently, his head still on the desk. Hokage-sama, asked his assistant in worry. I could send my son, Minato whispered. How come? Menma-sama has already left the village, said the assistant, getting to who the Hokage was talking about. Are you sure that this is a wise decision, Hokage-sama? Asked the assistant. I don't know, but if we send Naruto, the mission is granted a success. I just hope that nothing happens. I can't be responsible for a whole fleet of genin and one Chunnin's death just to save one genin. Get the new straitjacket ready. I getting Naruto, said Minato as he got from his seat. Underground. Naruto was leaning down, his eyes cloths. He just had his bath time, and was able to use the bathroom. He wasn't expecting anything to happen, so he was surprised when his prison door opened. He looked up and saw the last person he wanted to see. What do you want? Asked Naruto. I need you to go out on a mission, said Minato, getting Naruto's attention. Sasuke needs to be rescued by Sound Ninja. So the mark finally got to him, said Naruto, surprising Minato that he knew about the mark. No, he made a plan to leave the Sound Ninja when he found a way to get rid of the mark, said Minato. So what do you want me for? Asked Naruto. I need you to be reinforcements to the team that originally went. They are facing Jonin level ninja, and that's more than they can handle, said Minato. The masked Anbu that usually took care of Naruto appeared with a black straitjacket. At least it's black this time, said Naruto. The Anbu took him off his chains and put the straitjacket around him. Even though you are leaving, that jacket is like a mini cell, like the one you stay in. You won't get out of it. If you behave, you will be rewarded, said Minato. This is different, said Naruto. He could only reach about a high Jonin's worth of chakra. If he tried to break the seals on him, he would just be wasting his yokai. He couldn't force his way out this one. But he had his trump card. I shall escort you to the northern gates of Konoha, for that is the way they left. When you get there, assist them in any way they need, understood? Asked Minato, but all he got was a grunt in reply. Naruto got on his feet, a bit shakily, but got used to it. He and Minato walked out the cell, Naruto being free in a long while. Konoha gates. Naruto and Minato were facing the gates that lead to the outside of Konoha. Remember, you get the job done and you come back here with the team. Help them get Sasuke back. Now go, said Minato. Naruto jumped in the air and flew off. Today was the day. I won't release the seals on the jacket until I'm far away from Konoha. When I do, I'll just keep traveling north, tricking Konoha into where I'm actually. When I pass the borders of Konoha, I'll flash away to Wave. Today's the day I'm finally free, said Naruto to himself. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.